Homecoming 2019 this past Saturday began with a beautiful morning, and the weather continued to be great all day, and the fans really came out in tremendous numbers for all the tailgating, the dedication of the Huckabee Fieldhouse. And when Paul Simmons' football team got on the field inside First Security Stadium, they did not disappoint. A 45-14 victory, and really the start was amazing. Got off to a great start, 31-0 there early on, and the defense I thought set the tone. I know I talk about a lot of points there, but boy, the defense was super early.
I tell you what, the whole team really, and homecoming week and the dedication, it felt like so many distractions, good distractions, but still distractions. And I was really, really nervous that our kids would maybe come out and not be sharp and not be focused, but it was the opposite. They were on fire. They played with great execution. Just really, really pleased with how that first half went. Really, the whole day. I mean, it was just. It was a great, great day to be a Bison, and so many things went well. I mean, on Monday and Tuesday we had it's going to rain all day Saturday, and God took care of that and made it a great day. So, yeah, just really proud of what happened all day Saturday.
I want to talk about the special teams also. I don't want to leave them out because I thought the return yardage was super there early. Gave you good field position early in the football game with Ja'Cory Nichols, and Grant Ennis nailed a 42-yard field goal there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I really feel like our kicking game has been really strong all year long, and definitely Ja'Cory gets better and better every week, and he put the offense in great spots all day long, and this is 2 weeks in a row we rolled Grant out there and he knocked in a 40-plus yarder. His confidence is really going up, and just it really is neat to see that young man as a true freshman in a tough spot, and just watching his confidence grow is awesome. He's going to be a good one here for a long time, and so that's very exciting.
All right, we're just getting started on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons. When we return, we'll look at first half highlights, and you're going to see that great atmosphere that I talked about right after this. Remember this first VO, just sound low. I normally don't get to go out for the brotherhood walk with it.
In your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who.
Welcome you back on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons, and most of the time, I told you earlier, Coach, and I said something about it during the broadcast. I don't normally get an opportunity to go out for the brotherhood walk, but I took the extra time to get to do that and go see that on Saturday, and just to see the people that were out there, and to see the smiles and see the hugs, and it was a great way for me to start before I walked in the stadium. It made me feel good. I know why the kids love it so much.
Yeah, it's awesome. And if you watch right here, these old guys with the big bellies sticking out, that's the 89 Bisons, and those guys had just won a conference championship when I came to campus in 1990. And so, those guys are kind of heroes to me, and so to be able to honor those guys, and then some of the 59 guys is a special deal for sure. When guys come back to campus, they talk a lot about how things have changed and the facilities, but one of the things they always say is, man, the brotherhood walk is unbelievable. I wish that we had that. Yeah. And that's what I want them to say. I want it to be special for our guys, and it really is. So for all you guys that got out there and lined up and give our guys encouragement, it really is a big deal.
It means so a lot for the fans to get there early. When I got on campus about 9 a.m. On Saturday, and there was already people getting ready to tailgate. They had all kinds of activities for everybody to do, and I kind of wanted to stay out there a little longer before I went in. I saw all the food and everything, but it was time to get to work, and I know your football team came right in and got to work here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I want to stay out there too, and just see everybody. Yeah. And it got competitive. We actually had some tables that were taken from our football tailgate, you know, that's good. There's big demand. I love it.
That is good. First quarter highlights right now as we get a chance to see the Bisons, Coach, and you take the football early there in the first quarter.
Well, we did that, and that's the first time since I've been the head coach that we decided to take the football. And you know, honestly, part of that was because we were without, you know, Dylan Hendricks for that first half, and we decided, well, let's try to defend one less possession. It didn't matter as it turned out, but that's why we did that. And obviously, for the offense to go down and score in 4 plays was a huge deal. You know, I thought our defense played really well. I mean, the 14 points that were scored late in the game, and you know, the ones were out of the game at that point. But you know, these guys have scored points, but you know, I don't think they crossed the midfield versus our ones. Those guys they're playing really well and they're getting better every week. Like you said, Ja'Cory, you know, really is putting us in good positions, taking care of the football out there and making plays. It's exciting to watch.
So great starting field position on this drive at the 45-yard line, already up 7-0 after the Tristan Tucker run. And we saw Chris Wine on that last series, his first of 2 sacks.
Yeah, Chris Wine had a big day. He led us in tackles, led us in tackles for loss, led us for sacks. He was kind of our player of the game, and really proud of Chris. He's a fantastic Bison.
Bissell with a good run right there, almost scored, but Cole Chancey will punch it in from 1 yard out. Cole went over 3,000 yards on Saturday.
Yeah, he's a special one. The offense played really well. I mean, the last 2 weeks really found their groove. There you see the big sack by our freshman Nate Wallace. That guy's going to be a great Bison. You know, we just play very few true freshmen, and you know, he's a guy that's an exception, and he's exceptional. We're really proud of him.
So the Bisons right now up 14-0 with the football, and defense clicking, special teams clicking, offense as well. And Tucker again with another nice run right here.
Yeah, tremendous run. He played really well. Played really well for us. Keeps on having a good year. This probably is the negative of the day right there, giving the ball away. Besides that, it was a really clean ball game, but we can't keep doing that. Well, that's great pursuit. Look at all those hats flying around. That is awesome. That's what we're all about now. 11 hats of football flying, hitting you in the mouth, and that's good stuff.
And with Cole Chancey going over 3,000 yards, Coach, only the 6th player in Great American Conference history to have done that so far. And the only other Bison, Romo Westbrook, 31-59. So Bison's driving right here. Cole Chancey, another good strong run. He had a solid first half, 90 yards there in the first half.
Well, there you see some of the great blocking right there, getting perimeter guys on the ground. I thought our receivers blocked really hard as always.
There's the Grant Ennis. We were talking about the 42-yard field goal.
I tell you what, I thought it had 8 or 9 more yards in it. You know, and it was straight as an arrow. A great job.
Yeah, plenty of leg on that. And I thought a couple of times, Coach, almost got a punt blocked.
We were close. Yeah, we were close. I tell you one thing you might not know. Going into that game, those guys had allowed 3 sacks on the season, and we sacked them 3 times. So, you know, that's very positive.
And driving here late in the first half. Tucker trying to fight for yards right here, and you see your Bobby Green and Bissell out front.
Yeah, very, very unselfish. Very encouraging.
Cole's second touchdown.
I don't know what the career touchdown record is around here, but he's gonna have that record. It's gonna be really hard to break, I would think.
And the defense never stopped there in the first half, even though they were putting pressure on and just continue to put pressure on Marr. And here's Wine's second sack right here.
He plays with great energy, great intensity. He's really fast. Yeah, right there you can see we were close to a punt now.
I thought Ja'Cory, I just kept waiting. I thought all day, Coach, he's going to pop one, and I do think he's going to pop one at some point this season.
I do too. Yeah, I do too.
And Preston Payton on Saturday, run right there. Preston had the one touchdown pass, and there it was right there to Bissell.
Yeah, and I tell you, one of the plays that to me kind of stood out in the game that we won't see on here is the reverse to Bobby Green, that they played really well. They were in position, and he just broke that tackle, and we ended up on that drive scoring, so that was a big play for us.
Yeah, I thought Bobby on that play showed just how physical he can be, Coach, because, he was about 5 yards in the backfield and was able to just, I said break the tackle, I think, at the point, but he really just ran over the defender.
He did. He was really strong. I love Bobby. Bobby's been a faithful senior for us, and, doesn't get very many touches, and we're excited to see that guy make a play when he had a chance to, for sure.
You mentioned no Dylan Hendricks there in the first half. I know that was a concern, but boy, guys stepped up, didn't they?
They did.
31-0 at the half.
They did. We ended up, Shedrick ended up moving inside and playing for us there and played really well. And, I was really pleased with how the defense played in the first half.
All right, Bison's up 31-0 at this point. Our highlights, we'll come back. We'll look at the second quarter highlights. We've got a lot, our second half highlights. We've got to have a lot more for you coming up with player interviews and also a look at the Huckabee Fieldhouse dedication as well coming up after this.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Back on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons, we always talk about homecoming, how special it is at Harding, and you talked about distractions, but it was good distractions. And of course, we have to see the homecoming queen crowned at halftime. Davis Atkins was crowned homecoming queen on Saturday, and I know this is such a tradition and so special. You didn't get to see this; you're in the locker room at this point, but boy, everybody was waiting to see who was going to be queen.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
And Dr. McClarty right there to crown Davis Atkins at halftime, and the crowd was super, Coach, on Saturday. And again, I said at one point there in the football game, I said, Coach Simmons is a great football coach, mediocre weatherman, though. He told me that I would need a raincoat on Saturday, and boy, I think it was the nicest Saturday we've had, Coach.
No, it was beautiful, and we did. I thought we would have more old Bisons on campus than we've had in a long time, maybe ever, and I think we did.
Yeah.
We had such a great crowd of Bisons from every generation, and just to see those guys together at the field, at the dedication, and the tailgate party was just really, really special.
31-0, Bisons have the lead right now. Let's look at the third quarter highlights and then on into the fourth quarter, but the Bisons with the lead coming out here in the second half, and it is Harding with the football here as we pick up the highlights.
Well, you see Robert Wilkie with a strong run right there. That guy's got a lot of tools, and it's really great for our offense and for our team, for that guy to get a lot of quality reps and just keep on getting better.
And Jesse Holness getting to play there in the second half.
Jesse, he'll attack it now.
Yeah.
He really gets after it. Jesse's a really important guy also in our kicking game.
And I was just about to say, I think this is where he had the tackle on special teams. Right after that.
Jesse does a great job. Jesse's one of those guys that's going to do exactly what he's supposed to do every time. He's a great teammate.
So Bisons now see Southwestern Oklahoma with the football, and here's the interception.
Yeah, that's kind of a bust. That should have been a sack for us. The blitzer took the wrong path, but Ahmad, who's a redshirt freshman corner, has the big pick there. It's exciting to see him get to do that. One thing that really, especially the last 2 weeks, our O-line has been so dominant. They don't get any credit, but man, they are beating people up, and it's fun to watch. Our player of the game actually was Sam Wilson, a left tackle, who's just absolutely murdering people.
There's Robert Wilkie with the touchdown.
Is that Robert's first touchdown this year?
I believe it is.
He's going to have a lot more. He'll have a lot more.
Yeah, just on his second drive there of the third quarter, able to drive down and score after the interception there from Ahmad Butler. And now here's a big play, Coach.
Big play, DeAndre McGill right there, and Shegu picking that ball up and getting in the end zone. Yeah, it's exciting to watch those guys play.
Yeah, and Shegu, no hesitation. As soon as he saw that football on the turf, he was going to the end zone.
He did a great job, yeah.
So the Bisons with another defensive touchdown as we move now into the fourth quarter of play, and the Bisons up 45-0.
You know, I tell you what, as a coach, you know, you work so hard to get that goose egg, and so it's frustrating when you see, you know, teams score. But I'm really proud of our coaches for not having a desire to, you know, to chase stats and to watch a scoreboard, but you know, really more about our kids and getting young guys in the game and giving them a chance to get better. That'll be a big deal for us down the road.
Getting to play so many people on homecoming, Coach. They work so hard throughout the week, throughout the preseason. I know that has to make you feel good.
Well, yeah, that's what people don't understand. There's no difference in you know, the way that the starters work as opposed to the four-string guys. They're all working. They all care. They're all invested. And so it is rewarding to get a bunch of guys on the field, to get them to play. A lot of guys are not from close to here, so their parents are here for one ball game, maybe two a year, and to get a chance to get there and play and compete is awesome. That should have been pass interference on the offense, but it was still a great catch.
Yeah, shoved there before the football got there, and
Yeah.
grabbed it, shoved with the left arm and grabbed it with his right arm. A one-arm catch there. And
Nice run by Zach Smith
yeah.
right there. Going to be a good player for us.
Little Rock Park View.
Great kid.
And Bisons get to take a kneel down right here, and it's such a great sight to see the hands shaking and then to see the football team down on the field. So many people, Coach. I think after the game was over, I think the field was just full of the fans and families down there. And 45-0 lead at one point, 45-14 the final, and moving up in the polls this week to number 18. But I know it's one game at a time. You said after the game we want to be 1-0 every week.
Yeah, we want to be 1-0 every day. Every day we want to be 1-0, and you know, I think the guys can sense that we have a chance. You know, we have a chance to do something special right now. I mean, we're on a roll right now, and we, you know, it's kind of odd for us. You know, we've got 4 games left, but only one more home game, and but we thrive in that road roll, and we just want to figure out a way to be better tomorrow. That's it.
We talked about Chris Wine, had the 2 sacks, and Coach said led the team in tackles on Saturday. We're going to hear from him, and also we're going to hear from Malik Matthews.
Especially with the way we responded to OBU, you know, that first loss, and just now we're on a roll and we're clicking, and you know, turnovers, and you know, the confidence is high. But we prepare really well, and we work really hard, and we have great coaching.
You've been kind of banged up in and out of the lineup the last couple of weeks. Back healthy. You average more than 10 yards a carry today. How does it feel to be back, part of the lineup, part of that rotation in the slot back rotation?
Feels pretty good. I was down the first couple of weeks just because I just want to be out there and be able to play my best with my brothers. But I've been spending a lot of time in the training room trying to fight like crazy just to get back, and it's just trying to pay off now.
And, Coach, you talked about Chris Wine and his defensive play, but the numbers on Malik Matthews, 7 carries, 78 yards, and 11.1 yards per touch. He's a very exciting player.
Yeah, Malik's a guy he's dynamic with the ball in his hands. He's explosive, and he also is a guy that cares a great deal. He's one of our most serious students. He works really hard in the classroom, got a really high GPA, and he is taking the opportunity to be a Bison student athlete really seriously. So I'm really proud of Malik in lots of ways.
All right, coming up next on this week's edition of Harding Football with Paul Simmons, Haley Kate Webb's going to catch up with the D-line after this break.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. 1 in 3. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, the boss's boss. If 1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes, that means it could be you, your barber, your barber's barber.
Nice work. Thanks.
You, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse.
Yes.
You, your dog walker,
On your left.
your cat jogger. Or you, your co-pilot, your co-pilot's co-pilot. While 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org to know where you stand.
We normally only see Haley Kate Webb with 1 Bison. Today, we're going to see her with 4 Bison defensive linemen. Haley.
Thanks, Billy. I'm here with 4 of the Bison defensive linemen, Dylan Hampton, Jay Marshall, Mike Gant, and Nick Soto. And they've got pictures of each other in front of themselves, and I'm going to ask questions, and they're going to hold up the picture of the person they think best fits the answer to the question. Are y'all ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, I've been to practice before, and there seems like there's a lot of noise coming from y'all's area of the field. So who is the loudest, most annoying talker of the group?
Annoying? Loudest?
Or loudest, either one.
Oh, we're going annoying? Oh.
Okay, Dylan, there's 2 for you.
That's loudest, though. That's not annoying.
It might be both.
the loudest. That's the loudest.
It might be both.
Oh, man.
What makes him the most annoying?
Oof.
Oh, yeah.
His
real
raspy voice.
Yeah. Really?
What up, O-line? Yeah.
All right.
Okay, who is the most likely to become famous someday?
None of us.
Famous for what, though?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Good famous or bad famous?
Bad famous.
Bad famous? Nah, come on, don't do that.
Oh, no.
Of course.
Mike, what are you going to be bad famous for?
They capping, I don't know.
Look at this picture. He might go to jail. Might be robbing it. Might be robbing it.
Chill.
Who is the best singer in the group?
Oh, yeah. That's
Who y'all pick? Don't let others
Oh, that's
influence
Mike. Come on now.
Mike? Peer pressure.
Now you captain.
All right, we're gonna test this, Mike. Do you know
Get him,
Let It
Mike.
Go from Frozen?
Oh.
Get it, Mike.
Yeah, I know a little Let It Go.
Can you give me an
You
example?
shot now?
All right. Let it go. That's all I can give. That's all I can give.
That was bad.
Who has the best pickup line?
For what?
Oh, come on now.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Jay, we haven't picked on you. Let's hear it.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Are you from Tennessee? Because you're only 10 I see.
Okay. Who has the most impressive hidden talent?
Oh, I know.
Stop.
All around the board. Okay, what would yours be?
Oh, I could play the ukulele.
Ukulele.
Yeah, I could play the
Okay,
ukulele.
Jay, what would yours be?
No, what is it?
He's pregnant.
Okay.
Jay twerks frequently.
That's true.
Pause, but he does. The world knows, so yeah, when you get asked to twerk, you better pop it.
That's crazy.
Who smells the worst after practice?
That's cap. That's really cap. That's cap. We're gonna be honest, Dylan.
No. We're being honest.
I think you're outnumbered here.
They just
Dishonest.
We just what, hating?
haters.
It's after practice though. Like you supposed to smell of dedication.
Nobody else smells bad though.
Nope.
No, you just smell the worst. We all smell bad.
That's
the worst.
Okay, you guys told me to ask this question, so I'm expecting a good argument. Who has the coolest tattoos?
Oof.
Okay, let me hear it. What's your argument for who has the best?
Let me see you.
Oh yeah, Mike.
I got a long sleeve on, but come on now.
Mike, I have an octopus.
That's okay. I have birds, doves, gates, a sun, a moon.
Mike, yours look
stars.
stenciled.
Okay. Yours look etch a sketched. So what? Like,
Come on now.
You want to call it even?
yeah, we even.
Look at this.
That's what we do.
Okay, my favorite question. Who has the best Coach Simmons impersonation?
Ooh. That's.
Don't do this because I'm going to be on the spot. Oh.
Let's hear it, Dylan.
Oh. Nah, I hate being put on the spot.
Okay, there you have it. For the Harding Sports Network, I'm Haley Kate Webb with Dylan, Jay, Mike, and Nick, and we're sending it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thanks, Haley. I tell you, that's guys that like to battle together. I could tell they're a lot of fun, and they were picking on Big Mike there a few times, but I thought he came up big with his singing.
Yeah, you're pretty talented guys. I want to remind you that there was a time not long ago when I was the D-line coach. When you watch those guys and how they interact, you know, you might have a clue about why I'm not anymore. I had to give those guys up. I had to give them to Coach Bigelow. He can handle them better than I can. I'm getting too old for that.
How important it is to have not just those four guys, but I tell you what, you've got so much talent up front on this football team.
Yeah, no, those guys, in all seriousness, that is a tremendous group. The culture in that D-line room is fantastic, and those guys, I mean, they play lights out. You know, the way the D-line has plays this year and for years it's awesome. It's awesome to watch them work. And you know, if you're at practice out there, you know, the way that group and the energy of that group and the violence of that group is going to jump out at you every day. So I'm really, really proud of all those guys. I mean, I love them to death.
All right, coming up next, Tim Hamilton was very busy. He was at soccer, he was at volleyball, and he was also at the Huckabee Fieldhouse dedication. We'll get to peek in there coming back after the break, and also look ahead to this week when we go to Alva, Oklahoma, and the Bisons will take on Northwestern Oklahoma. We'll talk about all that right after this.
145 over 92.
180 over 111.
182 over 100. And I had a heart attack and a cardiac arrest. And then a stroke.
This is what high blood pressure looks like. You might not feel its symptoms, but the results from a heart attack or stroke are far from invisible or silent.
My memory is shot.
When I woke up, I couldn't speak.
I can't button up a shirt. I can't run.
I've had to learn to swallow again. That's the only moments that I have. And I'm 33, so I never see this coming. If I would have followed a treatment plan, I would not be in this situation.
Had I done this, had I done that, hell, I messed up.
Get back on your plan, or talk with your doctor to create an exercise, diet, and medication plan that works for you. Go to loweryourhbp.org.
Head to toe, everything's changed. Head to toe.
Homecoming 2019, it was jam-packed with the big crowd and all the events going on campus, alumni games over at the baseball field as well, and the Huckabee Fieldhouse dedication. And this is a great piece here that we'll look at with everybody there. Such a great crowd at that on Saturday.
And I'd just like to recognize Coach Simmons for his passion, his energy, and his tireless work ethic in seeing this project come to fruition and completion. Coach Simmons has done an amazing job uniting those who love Bison football. His efforts throughout this project are greatly appreciated.
But with all of our facilities and all of our programs, it's not the facilities that really are the heart of it. It's always been the people. It's always been the coaches and the players and what they're able to accomplish. I can tell you, and I know I would be speaking for all of you, I am so proud of Coach Ronnie Huckabee, his wife Peggy, and for what he did for this program, his emphasis on brotherhood, his emphasis on winning, but his emphasis more than anything else on honoring God in everything that we did. I told him often, but not often enough, of how proud I was of his work as Harding's coach. He was an inspiration to me.
When he took the job, it was a difficult situation. I'll never forget that first meeting. We were in the team room, and he walked in. It was a Tuesday. It was not good. And he walked to the board with a dry erase marker, and in giant letters he wrote, "Honor God." And he underlined it emphatically. And he said, that's what we're going to do. We're going to honor God. And that's what we're going to keep on doing. We want to win some games. I think winning's important, but it's not near as important as what we do in the lives of these young men. And so thank you to Coach Huck for what you did in the lives of so many of us. Thank you for what you've done for me over and over and over. I hope you feel honored today. I hope you feel loved today. You deserve to. Go Bisons. Honor God.
As I did every week, I would check the travel roster just to see by any chance if
half the team had died, and I might be on it. So I checked it, and my name was on the travel roster. It was on the travel roster because I was a third string tight end, and our first two studs, Steve Clary and Eric Whitley, were really banged up. So there was a possibility that, you know, God forbid, there was a possibility that I might play. So as I got off the bus in Conway, Arkansas, standing to greet me was Coach Jerry Moat. And he looked me in the eyes and he said, "Huck, you know, if something happens to Clary and Whitley, you're it." And I said, "Yes, sir." He kind of stared off at the side and went. Obviously, I was brimming with confidence after that encounter. To think that that kid would be standing here today in this magnificent facility, being honored in such a special way, is beyond my wildest dreams. And I honestly feel undeserving because this is really not about me. This is about the Bison Football Brotherhood. And I will humbly accept this honor on their behalf.
That front lobby is for donors, it's for prospective recruits, it's for families, and it tells a story. In that lobby there, if you look on the one side, you obviously see honor God. You've heard that over and over by every single speaker today. And as you see in the program, then there's a bunch of programs back there. I know they're in the seat. If you did not get a program, I hope you do. There's a bunch in the back, and it tells that story. It's the mission, it's the purpose, it's an encouragement to everyone who walks in the front doors. And all that we do, we are here to honor God. This building is amazing. It's still not done. It looks done. There will be graphics, so the story will continue to be told as graphics will go up in here and encouragement will happen over the next few months. The field that was just finished, as Paul said, Thursday night late. And my son, who lives in Memphis, sent me a picture of this. He somehow saw it online. Said this would have been a game changer when I was a small kid running around here, because that's where he would have been. And that's the whole idea, is that's the Sonic Field of Dreams. That's where the kids, the future Bisons, are going to play and have a great time and just love playing there, spending time together.
And I'm so thankful for what the men who play football for Harding University are getting. They're being trained and inspired and encouraged to be men of God.
All right, Coach, I know that you really, that meant a lot to you. You've been talking about this date with the dedication of the field house to me since, gosh, I don't know, back in the spring we were talking about the date and stuff, and I could tell just by your talking that this meant a lot to you.
Oh, it was a huge day. It was a huge day, and I have thought of that day and thought of that vision and thought of the old Bisons being together, and thought about the opportunity to say thank you to Coach Huck, to say thank you to all those people. And you know, sometimes you have an image in your mind of what it's going to be like, and in this case, the idea that I had in my mind, what actually happened was 10 times better. It was one of the honors of my life to get to be able to be a part of that and get to be able to say thank you in that kind of way to Coach Huck and so many others. It was just a really, really special day.
You've been wanting that Field of Dreams finished too before homecoming, and boy, got it done just in time.
Yeah, and you know, that's another thing that, you know, sometimes it just ended up being a lot better than what we thought. It was so rich to see the kids out there running around and playing, and you know, that was one of the desires of the family that gave the lead gift is where will the kids play? And well, that question was answered with a home run. And of course, I didn't even think about the team coming out across the field there. That was a neat deal. But I think that the idea in the mind of the giver is exactly what happened. Just for that turf to be covered with kids in every direction, of every age, just enjoying running and playing and being together. And so, I mean, the day felt blessed from the beginning to the end, all the way around. It's just could not have been any better.
Yeah, I'm normally one of the last ones out of the press box, and the kids were still playing on the Field of Dreams when I left the stadium. All right, this week, Coach, we make the longest regular season trip that we'll make out to Alva, Oklahoma, and the Bisons move up to number 18 this week in the national polls, and Northwestern Oklahoma. That's a long trip, but I know I talked to all the guys, and they talked so much about going to Oklahoma, staying all night, being together. You talk about it as well. This team loves to be together on the road.
We do. We love to travel, but this certainly would be a game that you would call a trap game. Coming off of a big emotional homecoming week, going on the road, long road trip. It's their homecoming. It's their homecoming, so they're gonna be on fire. They'll have a big crowd for us, and so we have got to have a great week and figure out a way to go get a win on the road, which is hard to do.
All right, Coach, I always appreciate your time. Congratulations on the win this past week, and we'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you, Billy.
Bisons win it again this past week by a 45-14 score. Don't forget, we'll have the radio broadcast on KVHU and the Harding Sports Network at 4 o'clock with the kickoff on Saturday in Alva, Oklahoma. We'll see you next time.